Hello friends, myself Dr. B.R. Chauhan from New High School, Paroi. So we will go through the remaining part of the circular motion. Friends, we have explained what are the different quantities that are related with the circular motion. Also we have explained the centripetal force, centrifugal force. Those two forces, they are having important role in the various phenomena that are taking place around us. So the application part of the centripetal and centrifugal forces will study the important and interesting application, that is bankings of the road. We are traveling, we are using vehicles, we are using roads. The physics behind the construction of the road that is related to circular motion is the bankings of the road. Whenever a car is moving around a horizontal curved road, it will be performing circular motion by that time, for that instant, whenever it is passing that curve. The car experiences both the forces, that is the centripetal force that is necessary for the motion of the car, and centrifugal force that arises due to the motion. So on a horizontal road, whenever a vehicle or a car is traveling, the necessary centripetal force that will be provided by the force of friction between the tires of the vehicle and the road surface. Here, the frictional force, it will be equal to the centripetal force. So we can have centripetal force is equal to frictional force or force of friction. If we consider that the vehicle that is traveling here, that is passing on that particular curved road, which is horizontal one, that is having mass m, if v is the velocity of that vehicle and r is the curvature of the curved road, then the centripetal force, magnitude of the centripetal force, it will be mv square upon r, and the magnitude of the frictional force that is occurring there, that will be mu into m into g. Here mu, it is the coefficient of the friction between the tires and the road surface, and g is the acceleration due to gravity. So from this equation we can have v is equal to square root of mu r g. So this is the value of the speed with which the vehicle can be safely driven along that curve. The curve with radius r. Here mu is the coefficient of friction. So we will find that if this speed exceeds than this value, this particular value along the horizontal road, the car may skid off, the vehicle may skid off the road, it may go off the track. So whenever a vehicle is to be passed over a curved road, the speed should be limited, it should be reduced. So here, to increase this safety speed, alternative remedies can be adopted. The frictional force is to be increased, will have to be increased in this particular condition, because the maximum safety speed, it will be depending directly on the radius, the acceleration due to gravity at that point, and force of friction between the tires and the road. But the force of friction between the tires and the road surface, it is limited. That cannot be increased beyond a certain limit. That has limit. So to increase this particular frictional force, if the road surface are made rough, there is another possibility that it may cause the tear and wear of the tires, and that will damage the tires, and again the accidents may not be avoided. When in the rainy seasons there is water spread on the roads, they become more slippery. If the oil is spilled on the road surface, then also it may cause hazards. The road surface will become more slippery. So, to avoid this, there is a necessity to make an alternative arrangement which will be effective one. So, by increasing the frictional force or force of friction, it is having certain limit. Beyond certain limit, it cannot be increased. And increasing the force of friction, it is doubtful. It may cause another type of the accidents. So, the banking of the roads are provided for the safety speed increasing. What are the banking of roads? The surface of the road at the corners or at the curves are constructed in such a way that the outer edge of the curved road is elevated over the inner edge through certain angle, and this arrangement is called as the banking of the road. While building the road constructing the road, the arrangement is done at the corners of the road, that outer edge is elevated over the inner edge through a certain angle. So what happens due to that? So due to this arrangement, without increasing the frictional force, we can increase the safety speed or the maximum safety speed. So here what is happening actually? Whenever a vehicle is crossing such a banked road, now this is banked road, it is not a horizontal road surface. The horizontal surface has been constructed in such a way that the outer edge is elevated over the inner edge through certain angle. So we will see the different forces that are acting on the vehicle when it is passing such a curve. The first one is the weight of the vehicle, mg. It will be vertically downward direction, acting vertically downward direction. So a normal reaction in upward direction will be produced. Normal reaction will be produced in upward direction. This normal reaction, it can be resolved into two components, and that are vertical component and a horizontal component. N sin theta is the horizontal component, and N cos theta, it is the vertical component of the normal reaction, where theta is the angle of banking. Along with this centripetal force will be there, that is directed toward the center of this curved path. Acceleration v square upon r, and there is one more force, that is friction between the tires, the force between the tires and the road surface. So these are the different forces. So taking into consideration all those forces, we can have the equation for the maximum safety speed, as those forces that can be that are acting on this particular vehicle whenever it is passing crossing the curved road, which is provided a banking there with the angle of banking theta. So these are the different forces that are acting. From this we can have the equation for the maximum safety speed that we will not go in details for that derivation. V0, the maximum safety speed, it will be equal to Rg into tan theta. V0 will be equal to square root of Rg into tan theta, and from that also we can calculate the value of the angle of banking, that is theta is equal to tan inverse of V0 square upon Rg. So this is also the important relation and this is the application of the centripetal and centrifugal forces that are arising there in the circular motion. So in our daily life we are availing this facility at the various road curves. Whenever we are traveling at the corners, the maximum safety speed we see it as increased there. So this is also an important point there in regardless with this circular motion. So in circular motion, in our course, we have one more example of the circular motion that is a little bit different from that circular motion that we have seen up to yet, we have studied up to yet. That example is example of a conical pendulum. A conical pendulum, it is a simple pendulum that is suspended from certain height, and it describes horizontal circle, and the string that is tied to this bob is describes the cone. So it is called as the conical pendulum. Suppose this is a rigid support, a conical pendulum will be describing such a horizontal path. If R is the radius of this particular horizontal circular path, horizontal circle, H is the height, and L is the length of the string, then the tension will be along the string in upward direction, and weight of the bob, that is mg, it will be acting in vertically downward direction. These are the two forces that are acting on this particular string. If this is the angle theta, the tension will be along the string. Weight mg in downward direction, tension along the string. The tension can be resolved into two components. Vertically upward component, it will be T cos theta. This is the tension T along the string. This is vertically upward component, that is T cos theta, and this is horizontal component, that is T sin theta. So here also we can say about the facts of this particular conical pendulum, that it is describing the horizontal circle and the string is describing a cone. The bob is describing the horizontal circle and the string is describing the cone. So it is called as the conical pendulum. The linear speed of the bob, it will be given by V is equal to square root of Rg tan theta. So these are the factors on which the speed is depending. The angular speed of the ball, it will be given by square root of h by g by h, and the periodic time of the pendulum, it will be taking the same time to complete one rotation, one revolution, and that is periodic time, that will be t is equal to 2 pi into square root of g by h. So these are the various quantities that are related with this particular motion. The periodic time of the conical pendulum, it is depending on the length of the conical pendulum and acceleration due to gravity. This angle of inclination to the vertical, it is not affecting this particular value of the periodic time. Also, it is independent of the mass. So these are the some facts that we can explain on the basis of this particular equation, that P is equal to 2 pi into under root of g by h. So here under root of L by G, not sorry, G by h, P is equal to 2 pi into L by G. So this is the things. The principle of this particular conical pendulum, it is important one. On the basis of this principle, the construction of a centrifugal governor, which is used for regulating the automatically the speed of the engines. So it is also the application part, and these are the particulars of this particular conical pendulum. So instead of that, we can have another example in the circular motion, that is the vertical circular motion. The vertical circular motion, it is governed by the earth gravity. So previously in the linear motion, we have seen the effect of the gravitational field of the earth or earth's gravitation on the free fall of the object. So acceleration due to gravity, there it is playing important role in various motions. Here also, if the object is performing vertical circular motion in a particular circular path of a fixed radius r, suppose, then it will be also manipulated by the earth's gravitation. So how earth's gravitation field, it is having a role there, that will be the important point. And we will find that the vertical circular motion, at various stages, the values of the velocity, the values of the energy, they are changing. That complexion, how it go on changing, that we will see. And the important point in the vertical circular motion is that the vertical circular motion is one type of, it is a type of the non-uniform circular motion. It is the non-uniform circular motion, and it is having a great role of the earth's gravitation there. So it is called as the vertical circular motion due to the earth's gravitation. So it is a non-uniform. How it is non-uniform? While the particle is performing such a motion, the value of its velocity at a different points in the course of this particular, in the path of this particular circular motion, it changes. We will suppose here three different points. A, it is the topmost point. B, it is the lowest point. And C, it is the midway point of this circular motion. We will consider an object is moving in the anti-clockwise sense of direction on this circular path with center O and a radius r, suppose. Here we will find at the different positions, at topmost position, at the middle position and at the lowest position, the values will be different. Suppose the value of the linear velocity at point A, it is V1. Here the tension along the string, it will be T1, suppose it will be in vertically downward direction, and weight, it will be also acting in vertically downward direction. It will be mg, weight of the ball or weight of the object that is performing this vertical circular motion. At second position, that is the lowest position, suppose the linear velocity is v2. Here the weight of the object, it will be acting in downward direction, that is mg, and the tension along the string, we will have it as T2, it will be acting in upward direction here. So at point C, we will have the velocity v3 in this direction. So these are the three different points that we are taking into consideration first of all. So we will find, when we observe this particular motion, at highest point A, the forces that are acting on this object, they are tension, which is acting in downward direction. Secondly, weight of the object, that is also acting in downward direction. So at highest point, we can have the tension and the weight, they are acting in downward direction, and the important point is that centripetal force is required to complete the motion, the circular motion. So the circular motion, it will be confined only with the help of this centripetal force mv square upon r, and it will be equal to T1 plus mg. So we can have the relation likewise, and from this we can calculate the value for the tension, that will be mv square upon r minus mg. So this is at the highest point or the topmost point. As we see that particle moves down to the lowest point, the scenario is changed now. Here the weight is acting in downward direction and the tension is acting in upward direction, and here also the necessary centripetal force, it will be provided by those both quantities only. So here at the lowest point, that is B, we can have mv square upon r, it will be equal to T2 minus mg, and from that we can have the value for the T2, it will be equal to mv square upon r minus plus mg. So these are the most important points regarding this particular vertical motion. So the change in the tension at the both positions, it is clear that the various quantities that are related, that we will go through, like velocity, the energy, they are going to change, so that this point is affecting that particular thing. So as we see that the linear velocity at the highest point, it will be square root of g into r. At the lowest point, it will be greatest one. So this was about the tension. So about the linear velocity. The linear velocities will be also different at the different points.